Welcome back to the QORcast. I know it's quite interesting that I'm doing the intro for today, but we disbanded the worst member. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We kicked them at the first given chance.
Yeah. But this week we have a lot of news pertaining to Riot Games and multiple of their games, but I guess the biggest one we could start with is 2XKO. And 2XKO, for those who don't know, is Riot Games' newest fighting game. It just came out of beta, I believe, for full release, and they cut half of the development team. They had 160 people about, and now they're left with about 80.
Crazy.
And a lot of people are upset about that, which, I mean, understandably so. Apparently 2XKO has been in production for about 10 years now. But
10
now,
years, really?
yeah. This game has been like cooking for a while.
Okay.
And a lot of people you keep seeing the memes online where it's like Riot Games, after their game doesn't make $1 quadrillion a second after it's released. And like, I guess I get that. It's a fighting game. Maybe they thought it was going to be a lot bigger than it ended up being. I mean, so far it's the second most registered game for Evo coming up. So I wouldn't really call that like a failure. Like, the only thing that's beating it is Street Fighter, and that's to be expected because it's Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But for me, I think that they probably cut the team because there's not enough stuff in the game to actually monetize. So like, if you think about like League of Legends, right? There's like 100 and I don't know the exact number. I know it's more than 160. So there's more than 160 characters in League of Legends, and each of them have at least like 4 to 5 skins. Some of them have like close to 10. I think like Caitlyn has like 9 or 10. But in 2XKO, there's like 9 characters, including Caitlyn. Or no, 10 characters. And
Yeah.
that each of them maybe have like a couple skins and like a couple like color palettes, but it's not like a lot of material to like buy. Like, I'm pretty sure the most amount of money you could probably spend on 2XKO to get everything, you're probably looking at like $1,000, which, I mean, that's a lot of money for one person to shill out for like cosmetics and stuff. But if you look at like maybe the maximum amount of money you could put into League of Legends, like,
oh boy,
it doesn't compare. You probably could get like 50 grand and not have everything, you know? Like, so I guess
or
like
one CS:GO knife.
Or one CS:GO knife. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that shit just is not into XKO. So I mean, that's maybe part of it. I've seen some other points online though that like, it takes a lot of people to make a game from scratch, but it doesn't take nearly as many people to like maintain it, I guess. So I've seen that as like an argument for dropping them. But it seems like dropping half your team for a game that, like, for at least FGC purposes, is pretty successful so far, seems just kind of crazy. Like,
yeah, it's a bit excessive.
Like, you work 10 years on this game, and then the month after it finally comes out, you're like, see ya, get out of here, we don't need you anymore. But
a bit crazy.
I hope that the guys that got let go from 2XKO, I mean, obviously they've got Riot Games development experience, so hopefully they'll find a new home somewhere else. A lot of them are ex Marvel vs. Capcom players, so they're ex FGC pros. So maybe they'll find their way back into the pro scene, but I guess we'll see. Hopefully, I don't think 2XKO is gonna be dead. I think if you think Riot Games is gonna spend 10 years making a game only to cut it completely within its first year or something, I think that's insane. I don't think that would ever happen. But I guess we'll just see what the player numbers look like going forward. But as of right now, it's a thriving fighting game, which compared to a shooter is maybe not a lot, but like, if Street Fighter is considered a successful fighting game and they have like 30,000 players constantly, and Tekken is a successful fighting game and they have like 10,000 players online on Steam at all times, I'm sure 2XKO is probably fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to worry about there. It is unfortunate though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
uh,
The guys, although it sucks, I'm sure that with the experience they have, they'll probably be able to find themselves in another position. Maybe not with Riot, but with somewhere else. I'm sure a Riot Games development on your resume is good. So,
yeah,
although
it's pretty strong.
Yeah, although it sucks right now for all those guys, I'm sure they're all very talented and they'll find their way.
Yeah. Alright. On to the next news. If you are a League of Legends fan, especially one who watches the EMEA, this one is a bit of a rough headline. If somehow you didn't know, QOR just announced that Lost Ratones is officially shutting down after 16 months. For those of you who don't know who Lost Ratones are, it's this team started by QOR, who was a former League of Legends player, and Caster, who's now turned into a streamer. The players on the team were Bounce, Nemesis, Crowny, Reckless, and Velia. There's been a lot of noise online. People have been accusing other orgs for match fixing or throwing intentionally. I'm not going to touch too much on that part, but, QOR has spoken on those things in his video that he uploaded today. But unfortunately, Lost Ratones was unable to get the wins that they needed, and they finished 9th place in the LEC. They said that this is the end. This is where it started with this squad, and this is how it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's highly unlikely that they're to return. The buyout for a franchising slot is very expensive. It can go for like tens of millions of euros.
Yeah.
And, QOR did get some sponsorships offered to him, but not ones that would have, stopped any strip of control of the org.
Mm-hmm.
The org was always meant to be more of a passion project and started out as like a meme team. And, there was always, it was inevitably going to come to an end. I think QOR expected it to end even last year. But, they were given the spot in the LEC and, great opportunity for them. They took it. But, the org has had a huge impact on the League community. It's brought back the fun and the passion of League of Legends esports to so many people. They swept all the NLC splits, I believe, and they won EMEA Masters twice. They brought so much viewership to the league. I think the peak viewership they had in this LEC was like 590k or almost 600,000. And I think like 200k of those are just from QOR's stream alone. So, I mean, a lot of viewership. But, unfortunately, all good things come to an end. And this is the end of the road for Lost Ratones. Shout out to the people and the players there. You could tell that they were all very passionate about it. And hopefully everything goes well for them down the road. But yeah, no more of the black and white rats, unfortunately.
Maybe they need like a streamer league so that they don't gotta be spending all that money on like a spot,
I mean, streamer league is unlikely though. Come on.
I mean, that'd be fire though. If just having this team of like streamers and casters like brings this much viewership to the org, or not the org, the league, and makes people excited about league esports, imagine if Riot took notice of this and was like, yo, what if we expanded this?
I mean, part of the reason why it brought so much hype was because, it started as a meme team. It was like QOR was focused mostly on the team chemistry and who's building.
Mm-hmm.
And, on paper, nobody would have expected these names to be on the same team with each other. But, QOR went off the vibes and, they became popular among the fans. They ended up winning, which kind of resulted in it turning a bit serious.
Yeah.
So, it was a fun project, but unfortunately they just fell short. But yeah. That's it for the league news.
In his video, he does say he's like, although we needed other people to lose and stuff like that in order to get a spot, and that's where the match fixing allegations come from. Ultimately, if they didn't lose their first 4 games off rip, then maybe they would have just made it. So he does take responsibility for it, but you still would love to see a team like that continue to go. But unfortunate that the timing doesn't seem to be working out, or the funding is probably the largest.
I mean, the funding is hard.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you had the funding, things would still be fine. But finding sponsorships that don't want to also have some control in the company or some say in it, just supporting it as a passion project, that's hard.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount that you have to, the amount of money that you need.
Do you think it would still be profitable though? Like, say like some company, angel investor comes in and it's just like, here, we'll give you the money for the spot. Do you think with the viewership and stuff that they get, that maybe they'd be able to cover that kind of cost?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. Kind of hard for me to say, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other expenses they have going on are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure it was expensive to run as much as they had run already as well.
Yeah. But unfortunate. It seems a lot of people upset about it. Seems like they're all good guys, but maybe we'll see him in the future on a real team.
Yeah, I do recommend that you watch Kjo's video. You can tell that the guy is kind of upset, and I feel bad for him.
Yeah,
but, support all the boys. Hopefully, whatever they choose to do from here on out works out for them. And yeah, on to the next news. If you are an Envy fan, you will know that Envy ascended without two of their star players, Kane and Ion, leaving just Exter and Poppin. Now you might be wondering what happened to Inspire, and we're all wondering the same thing because he's benched. So Inspire got benched, and they brought in Demon 1. Now we have made our thoughts on Demon 1 very vocal. We have been very vocal on our thoughts about Demon 1, but he's been looking alright so far this year. He's been looking good on that Sentinel role. I believe they're gonna play him on smokes on Envy though. But Inspire's gone. He's benched. I recommend that you go look at the screenshots of Inspire when Envy lost their last game in that split right after he got benched. Pretty funny stuff. But obviously we don't know the full, we don't know all the information on why he was benched. I think there were some internal reasons. So at the end of the day, we'll probably never know.
You don't think it's because Demon 1 is just the GOAT?
No. I think Inspire was their best player since the game to tier 1. But hey,
yeah.
I don't think that was even debatable. But, you can't control things like that. And now he's just doing watch parties with Tarek.
That's what he's been relegated to.
I do hope he finds another team in tier 1. I don't know where he would go because all the teams I filled up obviously.
Yeah.
He's proven himself. He can play in tier 1. And as for challengers, guess who's made it to 3rd seed? It's us. You can see the excitement on Danny's face. And if you're listening to audio only, then what are you doing? Please watch on YouTube too. But anyways, the teams that have made it to playoffs are Sad Esports, Sleepers, Shopify Rebellion, Core, M80, Evil Geniuses Academy, Evictix, and NRG, meaning that YFP, Azura Dragon, Nightblood, Alliance Guardians, Pigeons, Rose, Winthrop, and Blue Altar have all been eliminated.
This is actually so awesome for us because I feel like every season we've been kind of clawing our way into playoffs and stuff.
No, we came out swinging this time.
But dude, this is the best it's been. So comfortable this time. Hopefully the boys 100%. Don't get too comfortable, but it's so nice.
It's so doable. So doable.
But
and we're 4 for 4 with our main 5. We have not lost a single game with our main 5. I know we had to play with a sub obviously in our first game. Shout out to Alexis, she did great, but it's more of the idea that we hadn't had much practice with different comps and such. Yeah. So unable to do that, though we still gave Sleepers a bit of a run for their money in the second map. I do remember that. So I think in a rematch we do beat Sleepers, but we'll see. Time will tell. Our next game is on the 16th against Evictix. Predictions, Danny?
Dude, how could I say anything but we're gonna win? It's free. This season is free for us. You could clip this and play it back at the end of the season.
Yeah, and if Danny's wrong, then Ennis will shave his head.
Yeah. But I don't know, Ennis believes in it. Ennis is putting his hair on the line. So I gotta believe in it too. What are your thoughts?
I think that we will make it to the grand final. I'm not gonna jinx anything and say that we'll win, but we will make it to the grand final. Okay? I think that I won't mention names, but some of these teams that are on here are not performing up to the standard that they should be. And that's my opinion.
Free is what I'm hearing. It's free.
It's free, yeah. I mean, Okay, we might get knocked down. I think if my calculations are correct, I think in the semifinal we might get knocked down, but then we go back up and then we win.
And
That's what I think is gonna happen.
So you heard it here, Ennis. I mean, we still got a long time before Ennis's hair is gone, but this is just but a stepping stone.
By the time this video is up, I will have put a tier list up with Tiny Bones, our new core content creator, about the playoffs teams in VCL. So go watch that, and you'll see our predictions, and that's where you should bet your money. We're joking; we do not condone betting, but you know, if you were going to bet, please don't bet. Bad idea.
All right. I believe that's all for the news for this week. Next week I'm not sure when we'll be doing an episode, but I have an IRL video that's gonna be ready probably in 2 weeks from now, so be on the lookout for that. And
okay.
Remember
if
to
you want to see Danny in a swimsuit, you know where to go.
Yeah, of course. And as always, check out QORgaming.com/shop and use code QORcast for
10% off. 10% That's off. Huge. If you spend $10, you will save yourself $1. Yeah. You can do a lot with that dollar.
That's more money than I have and that I'll ever have. So
if you do 10 orders from Core Shop and save $1 each time, your 11th order will be from your savings.
Essentially free.
You know what I mean? Essentially free. So,
but all right, we will see everybody next week.